for the next episode. Can't wait to get home and turn my TV on. I'm ready for the next episode. Got my snap shoes off, no remote control. I'm ready for the next episode.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to next episode, where we're going to continue our discussion of Hunting Wives. I'm your host, Nick.
And I'm Jess.
So today I kind of want to get into like the more thematic elements and the storytelling
Okay.
because this story definitely had a point of view. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do.
How do you feel like they use like the way that they told the story to like kind of get their point across?
Well, I think that it focuses a lot on the hypocrisy of being uber conservative, but still, doing things in your life that you basically, for lack of a better word, preach about publicly and on TV, but behind the scenes, you're doing whatever you want to do. I think it's also like, we're all human beings. So like we all have, there's different sexualities, there's different interests, there's different things like that. And, like, I think you see kind of the issues when you try to hide those parts of yourself, or deny those parts of yourself and deny those parts of your humanity. You end up being a, hypocrite.
Absolutely. I think the main thing that they were trying to say is that there is hypocrisy. But honestly, even though I feel like the show was focused on conservatives, I also feel like they showcased the hypocrisy of liberals also. And the reason why I say that is because Sophie and her husband come in
Mhm.
and they are liberals and they kind of have their like we don't believe the same things that they do. We don't think the
Mhm.
same way. But honestly, they fell in lockstep. The
They
husband,
did.
not as much so as Sophie went in, she dove in head first, but her husband also followed in lockstep. And they started doing all of these things, which are kind of counter to what they say they believe and who they say they are.
He was willing to do it to keep up appearances, and that's just as bad.
Absolutely, because they really don't believe in anything. And
Mhm.
I was I was not like shocked, but
No.
I was surprised that that show went there because a lot of the things they feature in the show are like things I have literally heard rumors of politicians doing.
Mhm.
And I mean like the same sex relationships, the pegging, the secret abortions, like
Mhm.
honestly, most of the things that these people do in the shows, I've literally heard rumors of specific politicians, not in general, specific politicians doing these same issues. And so I really feel like the show did a great job of saying allegedly you guys think that you are like so wonderful, you have the value, you have the moral high ground. You're literally doing the same thing as everybody else. You're just doing it behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is interesting because they're allegedly the party of freedom and they want the freedom to do whatever they want to do while dictating what others should do.
Mhm. While restricting everybody else. Yeah. And again, there's nothing issue there, we have no issue with same-sex relationships, abortions, open marriages, any of those things. It again is just it's the fact that you try your best to keep everybody else from having that freedom, but want to do whatever you want to do.
Absolutely. I love minding my business.
I do too.
Like, I really don't care what other people do
Me
with
either.
their time and their body. I don't care. And I would also like people to not care what I'm doing.
Exactly.
That's all.
Exactly. Exactly. And again, as long as everybody is grown and nobody's getting hurt. And that's not the case with the show. You know.
Right.
But
Because the juxtaposition how they talk about abortion in
Mhm.
this show, and not only does one of the characters have an abortion, that's one thing, but the way that they treat children in this show, how
Mhm.
Margot and Sophie are sexually inappropriate with those boys. The way
Mhm.
Pastor Pete is able to like stalk and terrorize and assault these young girls,
Mhm.
even though he has a past. And it does not matter how much of how much that pastor knew. He knew enough to
He
know
did.
that he should never one, he should not be welcomed in your community. He
No,
definitely shouldn't be given a leadership position
absolutely
or
not.
be allowed to be around children unsupervised.
Mhm.
And when I think about the fact that that he was leading a trip and taking these kids out of the country,
Out of the country, yeah.
terrifying.
To another country he could potentially terrorize.
Right. And
And that's also I'm sorry. I'm
that's what I
sorry.
was gonna say. Like, this is not even like,
Mhm.
I could probably easily Google and find 20 different stories about, and we can get specific, youth pastors specifically
Mhm.
assaulting children, grooming children, having
Mhm.
issues with like CS, like what is it? CSM. Have to make sure I
Mhm.
use the right, acronym. Like, it's common, honestly.
Mhm.
It's so common. The show, and I people wonder, like, because that Pete Pastor Pete storyline was not in the book, and I know some people like, why would they put that in there? Because it was very, like, traumatic when he, like, drugged her, like, when, like, it was very traumatic.
It was uncomfortable, traumatic, like, and then I'm like, I always when I see stuff like that, I'm always so scared because 'cause I'm like, "Oh god, what is he gonna do to this girl?"
Yes. Even when he picked Abby up and he
Mhm.
was taking her to the party, I was so scared,
Me too.
honestly. I
Me
was
too.
I was so scared. But, like, so I feel like they put that in the show to, like, to bump up against the fact that they care so much about abortion, but they don't really care about children. Once the children are here, they're fair game to fulfill their needs.
Mhm.
They don't
Mhm.
deserve love, respect, and, like,
Mhm.
appreciation and protection. Because
Yeah.
as much as Jill was obsessed with her son Brad, it
Mhm.
wasn't because she loved Brad. She loved the way Brad made her feel, which,
Mhm. This is weird.
you
It
know
was.
what? This show had a lot of things that were triggering for me.
Mhm. Yeah.
I was getting
It's a
triggered a
girl.
lot watching this show.
Yeah, yeah. No, it had a lot of uncomfortable moments.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm not mad about it. I'm
Mhm.
not mad about it. And there are times when I like there's like when I don't want to be triggered, when it's hurtful or harmful for me to be triggered, like
Mhm.
when there's shows that are just like overly violent
Mhm.
to like black women
Mhm.
or like overly abusive, like I can't watch it. I can't. At this stage in my life, I honestly I can't watch it. And I'm not saying it's okay because it was happening to somebody else, but I feel like this show was kind of pushing me to like look at the issues and to like examine things.
Mm.
So even though yes, I did have to sit in my uncomfortableness, it made me sit and think about, you know what? I need to make sure the kids in my life are protected and respected as humans. And it's not that I wasn't doing that, but it just never hurts to like
Yeah.
reaffirm those beliefs. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, do you feel like it was too much in the show?
I still do feel like it was too much. And so I was editing yesterday a different episode, a different show that we did. And it also had a line of it was the girl before, which
Mhm.
also had a reference to incest that was like unnecessary. Like we said in the show, like it was unnecessary. And it felt like a lot. It felt like too much. And while I don't deny that any of this is like can be real for people in these situations, it's a lot to watch. So,
It is. I honestly, really honestly, if they would have removed like the breastfeeding scene, that was 100% not necessary. There was enough like indication that that Jill and Brad had an emotionally incestuous relationship. That I feel like that scene was definitely a step too far,
mhm,
honestly. And I would have preferred if they did not have the teenage like storyline with
me too.
Sophie and Brad and
Mhm,
Margot and Jamie.
yeah,
If they would, I would not have been mad.
Yeah, I could have done without that completely, but I also feel like, okay, so if you're going to have that in there, I still think like we still need to be careful how we portray teens, like he's essentially a teen. So we don't need to see the gratuitousness of it. Like, you know what I mean? So like if you're gonna have that storyline, then you can still portray it in a way that we don't have to see them
Right.
interacting the way that
Yes,
we
you
do.
can imply a lot more. They showed quite a bit, and they also, I feel like, kept referencing he's about to go to college. He's about to
Mhm.
go to Baylor in 2 weeks. He's going to Baylor in two. Like
To make yeah.
they kept.
I don't care. I don't care that he's 18. I don't care that both of those boys are 18. They're teenagers. And the same thing with why Jamie specifically comes up to Margot and says he's 18. I felt the same way.
Mhm.
You know?
Right. It's still grooming.
Mhm.
One, we don't know how long that relationship has been going on.
Mm-mm.
That's one. And he's freshly graduating from high school, which means he's probably freshly 18, which means it was already happening before he was 18. And even if he was, let's say, 18 when they started, for me, that does not matter because she's a grown woman and
Mhm.
the power dynamic is just, it's inappropriate. That is your mom's friend. That is a woman who is very powerful in the community.
That's your friend's son.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's no reason for him to even have to be pursued by her. And
Yeah.
I know that they try to make it seem like with Jamie pursuing Sophie and they try to make it seem like Brad was like wanted it more than Margot. I'm not trying to hear any of that.
No.
These are children
Margot's the adult in the situation.
and who
And
have
that's
been
and so the
led
responsibility is
astray
on her.
and they are being abused. I don't know what happened to Jamie before like the show. He could have very well been abused by Margot too. Margot, she's a freaky frog. She'll let anything happen. So
Mhm.
I don't see them as grown men. They are children and they are victims.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I really agree that like those like sexual scenes could have been implied. I did not need to see that.
No.
Because if it was a girl, I definitely would not wanna see that either.
Mhm. No.
So why would they show like, people need to, like, think things through. Like, you have to like, boys need protection too. And I'm
Mhm.
not one of those people who are like, "Men are getting treated so badly, blah, 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 blah." That's not necessarily what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, those are children, and they need to be seen as children. And I hate how they make it seem like it's okay to prey on teenage boys. It's
Agree.
not.
No.
And they make it seem like, "Oh, you know what? If a man is preying on a teenage boy, that's a problem. If anyone is preying on a teenage boy,
That's the problem.
it's a problem." So, if there's a season 2, I would like to not see any of that. We get it. Like,
Yeah.
that point has been made. Let's
Mhm.
move on from that,
Yep. Agreed.
honestly. And so I want to talk to you about a concept
Okay.
that's called compulsory heterosex heterosexuality.
Mhm.
Have you heard of that before?
Yeah, I have heard of it.
Okay. I guess I should give the definition.
Good.
So the definition is it's the idea that heterosexuality is the expected norm and is often enforced through societal pressures and institutions, aka Sophie.
Girl.
So
Yeah.
I mentioned in the other episode, I do not think that Sophie is bisexual. I think that Sophie is a lesbian, but I think that she is scared to fully embrace that
Mhm.
because she doesn't want to be othered, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
She won't even allow herself to consider it, especially at the beginning. Going back to the flashback where she's like in, I think, college or fresh out of college, she won't even allow herself to consider it while engaging in a relationship with her roommate.
right. Like, if you look at how her and her roommate were hanging out, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go out tonight. Oh, we're gonna watch a movie and popcorn." And then to find out that they've been sexually intimate, and then to find out that Sophie told that woman that she loved her while they were being intimate. And then when her friend brought it back up, Sophie's like, "Oh
Having
my
that
God, I was
conversation.
so drunk. I was so drunk. I didn't mean any of that. We're just friends. And honestly, I would have believed her a little I mean, I didn't believe when she said it, but I would have believed her a little bit more if she did not go outside and immediately start a relationship with someone she was very clearly not attracted to.
Yeah. She is not at all attracted to Graham. She never was. Graham
Not
was
at
her way
all.
out.
Not at all. When she saw Margot, she lost her mind.
Mhm.
And everything that had been dead in her for the last 2 years
Girl.
awakened.
She did like, okay, so mind you, this is the beginning, so we don't it's not that we fully really know a whole lot about this character, but she did seem to be a shell of her former self, whatever that was, you
Things
know?
between her and her husband were crusty, like
Mhm.
just dried out. Like
Yeah.
it was so dry. And honestly, I'm going to be honest, I thought that maybe the guy they chose for the husband was just not a good actor. I'm like,
Mhm.
man, this guy, I'm like, he is
There's
like
no
he
chemistry between them.
right. I was just like, there's no chemistry. I'm like, why did they cast him? I'm like, it just doesn't make sense. And then later on, as I'm watching the show, I'm like, no, this man is not a bad actor.
No, they're not supposed to have any chemistry. It's
No,
supposed to
no,
be
no,
obvious.
no,
Uh,
no. Yeah, it's okay. I understand. I get it
I
now.
get it now.
I get
But
it
yeah, no,
now.
at the beginning, I was like, yeah, there's no chemistry between it. And then he's controlling. He's like a more like a dad than a husband.
Yes. And I think, and I know that we talked through a lot of our feelings about Graham yesterday. And I think I want to talk about them again because I'm still not sure
Mhm.
how I think he's a mediocre, very like he's like personality wise, like
Mhm.
he's a very like mediocre person in a terrible marriage. And
Kind of milk toast.
I don't know why men go after women that don't align with their values.
Mhm.
Grant is very straight. I went to Harvard. He wants to have like he doesn't want he's not looking for a trophy wife necessarily. He wants a wife that's like smart and accomplished. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't want just someone who's just a pretty face because he bragged on Sophie and her like career accomplishments and he talked about how like she was the same way as a mom, like she's just going to excel at whatever she does.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
He bragged on it while simultaneously, I think, pulling her away from her career. You know what I mean? So he may not want to be he may not want a trophy wife in the sense that we're thinking about it, like just somebody who's a pretty face and no, but he wants somebody who fits the part and the idea that he has, and Sophie fits the part, or at least she has the potential to fit the part.
He
If you ignore who she actually is.
Right. He definitely wanted like a June Cleaver kind of he wanted a wife,
Mhm.
right? And Sophie was not a wife. And honestly, if you think about it, she was a waitress when they met. She didn't even get her career started until after she got with
Mm-mm.
him as a way like that kind of shows how she was changing and molding herself to fit better into his world, which makes sense on why it was so easy for her to stop working when they had a child because her career was not self-motivated. She was waitressing and partying before Grant. You know what I'm
I
saying?
guess so. Yeah.
And so I don't know why he chose her. I mean, I guess he was attracted to her and she
He
was
looked
willing
right.
to like adjust herself. But seeing how like the decisions that Sophie made,
Mhm.
like she loves to drink and drive.
That's her favorite pastime.
I don't understand it. If I had killed someone previously with a vehicle, I would stop drinking, period. I would
That's
stop
the
getting
way Sophie liked to kill people. That scene at the end where she ends up hitting the brother, where she ends up hitting Margot's brother with the car. There was no reason for her to be drunk. She went and got that alcohol for no reason. I don't even feel like she was in that moment really struggling with that, but she just was like, okay, I'm gonna drink and then I'm gonna hit him with my car. That's what she liked to do.
I don't drinking and driving, like, is one of those things that is, like, universally seen as wrong.
Hmm.
Like, people go back and forth about drugs, people go back and forth about but everybody agrees that drinking and driving is wrong.
Hmm.
And how this woman continuously, like, drink like, it made like, I now understand why Grant made her stop drinking and stop driving? Because initially I was like, you know what? Her just I can understand him
You coulda
telling
let my
her
drive.
to stop drinking, but why does she have to stop driving? It's because she likes to drink and drive. So if she's driving, she's
She
going, you know
drives.
how some people like they only smoke cigarettes when they drink?
Mhm.
She likes to drink and drive like that.
So here's the thing. When you say drinking and driving, for most people, that means I went out somewhere drinking and then I got in the car afterwards. This chick got in the car, drove to go get alcohol, and then drank the alcohol literally while driving.
Yes.
This is her favorite pastime.
Yes.
That's what she do for fun.
So now, like, so then I'm like, you know what, Grant? Maybe you were right. Maybe
Right.
she is not allowed to drink or drive because she can't seem to drive without drinking.
I don't know why it's so hard for me to give Grant a pass because I realize that she's a mess. I think this is really hard for me to see men that are really controlling of women. But also I'm like, okay, she clearly doesn't like you. You know what I mean? I don't feel like this is new. You consider, she didn't seem that interested in you when you started talking to her. She doesn't seem interested in you now, and you were still like, "I'm gonna marry this girl."
Can I tell you the way that I feel like the hysterectomy excuse was just an excuse?
Mhm.
I had a hysterectomy, so I couldn't have more children, so I started drinking. Ma'am, you were already a drinker. You were already a party girl.
Mhm.
You were already a party girl. I'm
Mhm.
sorry, I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. And then once he stopped you from drinking, you then have been miserable for 2 years because you do not like that man
Mm-mm.
because you are a lesbian, and it is okay. Go and find someone that you can love and let that man find someone that he can love. There are
Mhm.
women out there who would love to be in a relationship with him, that would be
There are.
very happy with him.
Absolutely, and the kinda lifestyle that he wants.
Right. Sophie is not that woman.
Not even a little bit.
And if she would just be true to herself, I think maybe she would stop drinking and driving.
Maybe.
I think she's got to have an outlet because she's like living this miserable life and
Mhm.
she's got all of these secrets and she's hiding. And I honestly, for whatever reason, it's drinking and driving together.
The combo
The
at the same
combo
time.
is how she
Mhm.
copes. She literally has the world's worst coping mechanism.
Yeah.
And this is what
She makes horrible
happens
decisions.
when people can't be who they authentically need to be. They
Mhm.
leave a reign of terror because as much as Sophie swears that she loves her child,
Mhm.
the way she behaves is counter to that.
Okay. I was wondering about you because I was like, "You swear out loud you love this boy so much, but you will leave him for days, days." 'Cause I was like, "You know what? As much as I want her and Graham to break up,
Mhm.
you got me doing it.
I'm sorry.
I want Graham to get custody. I don't trust her with that
Yes.
child.
I also think that Graham needs to have custody too. And here's the thing, like I am someone who does not leave her child, and I understand it's to my detriment because even if I am home,
Mhm.
it does not matter if my husband is allegedly watching that baby. She's going to come and find me. She will walk past her dad
Allegedly.
to come and say, "Mommy, I want some milk." And I'm like, "You you walked past your dad who was standing beside the refrigerator. Like, ask him for milk." Like,
Mhm.
and so I understand needing a break. I do.
Mhm.
I understand needing a break. It's just the way she goes about doing it. She
Yeah.
will look her little son in the face and say, "I will be there to kiss you good night." And then she is gone until the morning time.
Mhm. She'll be
Or
gone for
she
3
just
days.
or right, she's gone all the time without setting that expectation. And I know her husband's gotta be freaking out, like, "We're new to this town. I don't know these people you're hanging with. Um,
You in the woods with folks you don't know, which is my pet peeve.
we're going hunting. You don't know how I mean, y'all are going hunting. You don't
Mhm.
know how to hunt. I don't know these people, and you're literally gone for, like,
Right.
24 hours."
And you already know how these people feel about people that one, outsiders, because any kind of small southern town, they're gonna be wary of outsiders. And then they consider you liberals, so which is also a dirty word in their book. Hey, you just alone with them for hours and hours and days. Absolutely not. And then when she goes to kill Margot's brother, she leaves him with a babysitter and tells the babysitter, I'm gonna be right back.
I think it was like the next door neighbor. She's like,
The
"Hey,
next door neighbor
I just need to go down the street really
from
quick."
the
And
store
she goes and commits a murder.
and dumps a body.
Graham should divorce her.
He should.
And he
And
should
and
go for full custody.
he needs full custody. She needs supervised visitation.
Yes, absolutely. And she should not be allowed to transport that child by car
No,
anywhere.
anywhere.
Anywhere. So,
Mm-mm.
what do you think season 2?
I don't know where they can go from there. You know what I mean? There's so many people. Okay, so the one thing is it's gonna be interesting. Sophie refuses to leave this town, and the sheriff directly told her, "I don't want you to be here no more." And here's the thing: your small country town is letting you out of jail and says, "I don't want to see you no more." When I tell you I'm scooping up that baby, I'm telling listen, you ain't got to go home, but I'm getting out of here with this child. You can meet us here. You know what I mean? Like when I tell you I would have left in that instant, she stays there, commits another murder. And so I'm like, so now season 2, I'm like, well, the sheriff already told you, if anything else, I'm after you. So you got
Yes.
Callie's husband after her. Callie can't stand her.
No.
I still hope we get a little glimpses of Married to Justice.
Yes.
And then I do want to see more of Margot's story. I want to see more of Margot's backstory as well. And I need some more backstory on Sophie because the most we got is a party girl close to college. How did you get this way?
Yes. Well, I think it's denying your sexuality. I wonder
Hmm.
how long you've been doing that. Like, were you sleeping with girls? Because I think she told someone she'd only slept with one other girl. I don't believe her. I'm like, were
Hmm.
you sleeping with girls in high school and lying about it? I don't
Hmm.
know. But yes, I would like more. I would like more backstory. Honestly, I would like to see Sophie get revenge. I mean, I'm sorry. I would like to see Margot get revenge on Jed, her husband, for like
Okay.
smacking her and throwing her away like she was nothing. But
Yeah.
you know what but like she weaseled her way in as a like and literally stole that woman's husband.
Hmm.
Stole him from the first wife. So honestly, I would like to get more info. Like I would love to see like the first wife get in the mix
Hmm.
and
Well,
like
she got in there towards
get
the end.
some yeah, I want to see her get some revenge.
Hmm.
You know, I want
Yeah.
to see like there are there are things that they can do. Now, I'm
There's a
going
ways
to
to
tell
go.
you what I don't understand, okay? They figure out Sophie did not kill Abby.
Hmm.
Now, they think it was Jill and they didn't have that right cuz it was Margot who did it, but like the sheriff threatening her when he knew she didn't do it and was like,
Hmm.
I didn't that didn't make sense to me because I'm like, she didn't do it. Like,
You
why
know
are
for a
you
fact she didn't do it, and it's just because him and Callie don't like her, and I think it's mainly because she's an outsider.
Mhm. 'Cause I'm just like, that threat was crazy to me
It
because
was.
she was innocent.
Mhm.
Like,
She didn't do the thing that you did. But, like, that one, like I said, they don't like outsiders, but police also get mad when they're wrong. You had tunnel vision as to what it was, and now the truth doesn't prove the theory that you thought, so now you mad at her like she did something wrong for not killing the person you thought she killed.
right. Yeah, so I'm like, cause maybe I would have said, I would have been like, what you mad at me? I told you I did not do it.
Me too. Now, mind you, Imma get outside these bars, and I'm like, "Why are you upset with me? I literally did not do the thing you said I did. I'm not a murderer. That vehicular homicide thing was an accident from 2 years, ain't have nothing to do with this town. What's your issue?"
I'm a
But
law abiding
I
citizen.
also still would have left. I ain't gonna lie. I would pack my ish and left.
Your homegirl is the killer.
Mhm.
And I mean Jill. Of course Jill didn't kill, but they all think it was
They
Jill.
think it's Jill.
Like, that's your
And
friend.
at this point, I ain't trying to find out. That's the other thing. Sophie stay in stuff that she don't need to be in. Because I'm also not trying to find out anymore. Once my name is cleared, I'm not trying to find out who it really is. Like I said, I'm finna get on like I've been spit on, and you will not see me again in this small little town or my child.
Right.
I would holler at Graham and be like, "Listen, I'm out. We can figure out our stuff somewhere else. You go resign from this job because they not mad at you. You know what I mean? Give you a little 2 weeks or whatever. We will be here when you're ready."
Do you think season 2, Sophie and Margot are gonna sleep together again?
My God, yes. Because that's the other thing. So I'm still not sure where Margot lands on psychopathy or or narcissism or whatever it is. So I'm like, if she has the ability to have feelings, and that is a big if. I still think the only person that she develops some real feelings for, if she has the ability to do that, is Sophie. I think Margot does have feelings for Sophie.
You think so?
As close as she can have to feelings, she has them for Sophie.
Can I tell you, I don't feel like she has real feelings for Sophie.
Mhm.
I think Sophie is a shiny new toy. Like,
You might
that
be right.
excitement, that thrill, and it was like she was kind of chasing her, even though she could see she was very much attracted to her. She still
Mhm.
got to like chase her. There was a lot of chemistry. There was a lot of sexual chemistry. This is my thing. What would this love and feelings be based on? They don't even know each other for real.
They don't know. No, that's why I said the closest Margot can have for feelings. I'm not talking about a normal human. I'm talking about the closest Margot
Hmm.
can have for feelings is whatever she has for Sophie. So I don't think she's done yet. But it also, her number one is self-preservation. So at any point, if Sophie gets in the way of that, she's going to preserve herself. But yeah, I don't think either
Like,
one of them is done with the other one yet.
which is so crazy because Margot framed Sophie for murder, and Sophie has now killed her brother, the literal
Hmm.
only person she really cares about. Even though their relationship was very dysfunctional and at
Hmm.
times transactional, honestly, that's the only person like Margot actually cared about protecting, and she killed
Again,
him.
as much as she can, because like you said, sometimes it's transactional. I feel like she would have sacrificed the brother too at some point if she had to.
If it was
No.
her versus the brother,
Mhm.
absolutely. But I think
So
it was like the brother versus anybody else.
right. So I don't, except for Jed, because Jed is her money ticket. Like, I think that's the only way, and not because she loves Jed, but because that's her ticket to her life. But yeah, so again, we can't judge Margot's ability to care for people off of normal humans. She definitely is not that.
Do you want
But
to
as much
laugh?
as huh?
Do you
What?
want to laugh?
What?
So, when they revealed that the doctor was Margot's father,
Mhm.
do you know it caught me so off guard? And do you want to know why?
Why?
I thought the doctor was Asian. He looked like Asian-y to he that sounds terrible.
He doesn't.
He when I'm like, that's and I went and looked again. I don't know why. He just looked Asian to me. Like
I didn't see that at all.
he looked like an older Asian man. And so I was like, wait a minute, that's their dad? And then so like I'm just like looking. So then I'm looking at Margot's brother and I'm like,
Not you looking at his brother like, maybe he is Asian. He could be Asian.
because I'm like, well, if the dad is like a white Asian mixture, then
Maybe.
I'm like, maybe the son. I'm like, Margot didn't get any of it. I don't know why. When I saw their dad, I
Mhm.
literally my mind read like an older Asian man, and I didn't even realize that I thought that until they said that was Margot's dad, and I'm like, their dad is Asian.
He don't look Asian at all.
I don't know. And that's how it read. Like that's
That's
how it
how it
read
read to
to
you.
me. So I was very, very surprised.
Mm. Okay.
I told you I was gonna make you laugh with that
And that you
because
did.
I real like afterwards I was like, "Oh, maybe he's not Asian. I don't know. In my mind, I just read his face as like Asian,
Mhm.
some sort of Asian man. Like I didn't have a particular like person in mind, but I'm like their dad is Asian. I
Mhm.
never, I didn't see that coming.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
that's how that caught me off guard.
Okay. It caught me off guard too that I wasn't expecting. I wasn't sure if he was lying for them. I was like, I don't know if Margot really was up there. But and he was lying, but for different reasons. But yeah.
Now, this is one thing I did not get clear. Did the brother OD? Did that really happen?
Think so. I think she went up there for the abortion, and then the brother's always so drugged up that they told him he OD'd, and he don't, he don't know no
So
different.
he really did think that he OD'd though.
I think he thinks he OD'd.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out. I'm
Mhm.
like, did he really? I'm like, did he
I mean,
really
and honestly,
OD?
he could have, but she still went up there for that abortion.
Because well, no, that was that the abortion had already happened at that
Okay.
point. But what? Okay, so because this is what I was thinking. I'm like, who goes to urgent care when they OD? Like, why not go to the hospital?
Well, people do crazy things.
When he was like, yeah, she sat here all night with him, and I'm like, at the urgent care, like ODing is serious. Like the urgent care is like, I have the flu, I stubbed my toe, but like, okay, like even if you use like Narcan on someone, I still
Yeah,
feel like you need to
they
be
will
like
send you to the ER, and that's the thing.
hospitalized.
And that's what would happen because people honestly and truly go to all kind of places. Like people don't necessarily know where they're supposed to go for what. So I could see somebody showing up to the urgent care because they OD'd or bringing somebody to the urgent care, but they would Narcan them and send them to the hospital.
Okay, so I wasn't the only one who was like, who
Who stays in the urgent care with OD?
begs to stay all night? And I'm like, I guess that should have been an indication that something else was going on. Cause I was just like, man, like I've never seen I wouldn't think that an urgent care would take care of like someone who OD'd.
Mhm.
But the doctor, I did believe him because I thought he was Asian.
I truly believed it because of that.
So I didn't think that he would have a reason to lie. You know what I'm saying? It was the way that he just like he built a lot of trust with me because I did
Well,
not see him being associated with them.
I would tell you that he lost trust with me there because he still now I still didn't get the twist that he was their dad, but he lost trust with me there because that's like you still giving away more information than you supposed to.
You know what? You are right. See, but of course, you were
Mhm.
thinking
In
in
the medical I was like, "No, you still giving because like, no matter I done been cussed out, cussed up and down, left and right, but it don't matter because like, I'm in more trouble if I say something." So, I'm like, you like, "Listen, I'm sorry. You don't have no, you gotta go. You can be mad, you can stop, I will call the police on you
Mhm.
for them to remove you, but what I'm not about to do is tell you anything."
Yeah, that's true. I do have to get like authorization. And usually, honestly, at my job, usually they're in the room. And I'm like, well, can I speak to that person?
Mhm,
And I had one guy, I felt so bad. Can't remember what was wrong with him, but he could barely speak.
mhm.
And I'm like, he was like, can you talk to my wife? And I'm like, yes, just put it back on the phone. I'm so
Right.
sorry. He was actually literally in the hospital too.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I gotta do it. Like
But you
I
have to at
need to
least
get
get that
you
verbal
on this
confirmation.
recording
Yeah.
saying, you know what
It's
I'm
okay.
saying?
That's why I was like, "There's something weird about that." So I'm like, I thought he was covering up something, but I didn't know what he was covering
You
up.
know what? He got me by saying I can't disclose information about my patrons, and then
And
he
then
did
just
turn around and
immediately
do it.
disclosed.
And I was stuck on the fact that he was like, I can't do it. That I missed the fact that he did it anyway.
'Cause you know what the right answer is? Like, "I'm sorry, do you have a release of information?" "No." "Then I can't even tell you whether or not that person is a patient."
Hmm.
Because even saying they're not a patient is giving them information.
But then she was like, well, I want to
So
ask about this woman. And then he's like, she's like, I don't want to ask about the patient. I want to ask about this woman. And then he's like, she sat by this bed all night after I gave him Narcan. And I'm just like, you just literally told everything, but I
and
still
I'm
didn't
like
get it.
and again, like, even him giving her info about Margot being there, like, you can't tell her whether or not Margot was like, you can't say nothing. So that's
Hmm.
why I was like, "Why are you so" but then again, too, in small towns, yeah, that you supposed to, but, when I tell you, Sophie would've went out in handcuffs, because I don't care how much you sit here and pout and act a fool. You either gonna leave willingly or you going out this door in handcuffs. But guess what you're not gonna do? Get no information from me.
Right. The last thing I want to discuss is I want to discuss hard and soft power. And the reason why I want to discuss it last is because it's actually a theme that's going to come up in another show that we're going to review. And so when you watch the show,
Mhm.
you see Margot and she is the queen bee, and you see everybody falling at her feet. She has so much power.
So it
But what
seems.
you realize is that she's working in a patriarchal system. And when you're a woman working in a patriarchal system, the only power you have is the man that's standing next to you, the power that he gives you. And I think that with one slap, Shed took away all the power that she was wielding. Callie was willing to kill for her.
She was.
Like, these women were groveling at her feet. But honestly, actually, all of that power was smoke and mirrors. Because the minute that Jed's like, "You are no longer my wife," she's an escort again.
Mhm. Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think that that's the thing that women don't think about. Like, a lot of times, like white women especially, they are willing to exist in the patriarchal system because it does put them ahead of other folks. You're
Mhm.
ahead of all of the other women. You're ahead of like minority men. And so you feel like, oh, you know what? I'm close to the top of the power structure. But literally, when your power is based on someone else, you are actually at the lowest rung
Mhm.
because it's so easily taken from you.
Mhm.
The protections, it can easily be taken from you at the snap of a finger.
Which is why I feel like they work so hard to keep them, and why like having that man and bending over backwards to that man is so important because it's their power is gonna go away. Like she does not like the way she talks to Jed is like disgusting. I'm like, because you have to lower yourself and basically grovel to this man because you have absolutely nothing. The other thing that kind of always puzzles me is like when you're in these positions where you have this access to money, even though it's his money, you're not working, you don't have anything that's technically yours. Why don't y'all squirrel nothing away?
Sometimes they don't have the ability to do that
Hmm.
because if you think about it, especially when the higher you are, the less access to the money you have people to do things for you. So
Hmm.
you don't actually go to the grocery store, you have a house manager. You don't
Hmm.
pay any of your own bills. When you go out and you go shopping, you're using a credit card.
Hmm.
You don't they so they are actually really separated from the finances.
She was able to get the $20,000 to pay her brother off in cash.
Husband probably knows about
He does, and I would have asked for 30 and put 10 somewhere else. You know what I mean?
that. Mhm.
You at least work the system you are in. My brother would be having emergencies at least twice a year.
But also, they always think that it will never happen to them because that
Mhm,
power, even though we from the outside see that the power is not real, it
mhm,
feels very real to them in the moment. And they never think about what happens if they lose that power. Like, have you ever heard stories of like women who, like, I've heard so many stories like Mormon women who get divorced and they've spent their
did.
entire life being homeschool moms, and when they get divorced, a lot of times they are literally left penniless.
Mhm,
And I think that happens to like a lot of conservative women. They don't have education because they're either encouraged to not go to school at all, or they go to like a Christian school and they're in school long enough to get married.
mhm,
They don't have, they either don't work or sometimes they work for their husband
mhm.
where they really don't
Don't get
have,
paid.
they can't verify that employment. They don't have employment, so they really don't have employment history. Like,
Mhm,
so then that you come out and you're older
and with nothing.
with nothing, with nothing.
But I'm like, do you see how easy he got and I know they don't, and I know what you're saying is right, but I'm like, how easy he got rid of the first wife who had twin boys for him. And then the first wife says something, I don't know the exact quote, like, "You see me living in or this is why we live in an apartment, or this is why we live in a townhouse," or something like
Well,
that.
she said that she lives in a duplex because her Margot's brother threatened her and made her sign the divorce papers where she got nothing.
Right.
So
Exactly.
Margot was complicit in that.
She was complicit. I'm like, but you also don't think he would do the exact those are his children. You know what I mean? Like, and I know he still is involved in the twins' life, but when they go home to their mom, they go home to that duplex. And it didn't seem like she was living particularly well.
I
And he's
assumed he
okay
had full custody because the way that what Margot kind of described in the interview is if they were taking care of the kids, because she was like, I couldn't have kids of my own, but I have my
with smoke and
stepson.
mirrors and show. That girl got them boys. Because again, when they were out going to get food, who had them? Their mom. You never saw them boys at their house once.
Yeah, we did.
When?
They were, yeah, I think they were there for the party.
I
They were
remember seeing
there.
them.
Yeah, because they were playing video games, and allegedly that's what Brad was doing when he was
Yeah,
doing
she
Abby.
talked about them. You didn't even see them on screen.
Yeah, you did. You saw them playing video games.
I do not remember that. I don't remember
And
seeing
then
them boys.
I saw another scene where they were at the table in the
Mhm.
kitchen, and she was talking to them because honestly, it wasn't an I did not realize that those were not her kids until later on in the show. So
I knew from the beginning them were her children, and I'm like, and no, I don't think they have the kids full time. I think like one that's kind of for show. She's trying to project a certain image when he's on the campaign trail, but that mama got them kids.
but yeah, it's very common, it seems like, for
Hmm.
men when they move on to that second wife,
Hmm.
they don't take the kids with them. Like the kids become like secondary, even
Yeah,
if the second wife does not have children.
and I do think he sees them. I do think they come to the house, but they are not the primary caregivers. They too busy doing everything else.
I don't understand how Jed has time to run a business and be super successful. Cause
I
it
don't
seems
either.
like
How you got the energy?
all he does,
That's it. You constantly hungry. You can't. You got to be tired.
and maybe this is just me, and maybe this is gonna say more about me than it does about him. Like the thought of sleeping with that many different people in such a short amount of time, I'm just like,
Mhm.
uh, like I don't, cause I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm not. I don't consider myself a prude,
I
but
don't either.
I'm just like,
And honestly, it's not about prudishness, like, oh my God, how dare you have open marriage and whatever. No,
no,
it's about when I looked at that, I think I had the same reaction, but it wasn't like, oh my God, so many people. Cause I'm like, once you said you and Marvin got an open marriage, that's y'all business. I was like, I am tired looking at you, y'all the people. Like, I need a nap looking at you
just you know what? But I think it's me
for
because I'm just
nothing.
like, how are you getting to know? He's not getting to know these
He
people.
doesn't want to get the point is not women are objects to Jed. Women are objects. Like, cause like when he gets mad at Margot, he says something like, "You were supposed to make my life better," and something like that. And I'm like, she very much sounds like a replaceable object. And you see how quickly he turned them feelings right on off. If you know, so I don't think women are real people to him. They're interchangeable.
That's
So
true.
the older wife wasn't fun. Like you know the first wife said when she comes, the first wife at the end comes in and has a threesome with him with Jed and Margot, right? So she says, "This is my first time." And then earlier in the show, he said, like, basically alludes to the fact that the first wife wasn't any fun because I guess she wasn't down for that lifestyle.
Well, that was a flashback though. When they slept together, that was a flashback.
That was a flashback?
Yeah, that's how they met Margot.
I didn't realize that was a flashback.
Yes, that was
So
a
that was her first
flashback.
one.
That's how Margot weaseled herself in.
Girl, a mess. Oh, I will fight her.
That is why the ex-wife is like leaving notes and helping Sophie because
Okay, so I didn't realize that was a flashback. I don't know. I just missed that because I was like, you were so mad at her before. Why are you sleeping with her now?
no, she bought Margot in as a gift to her husband. Margot was an escort,
That poor baby.
and he enjoyed her so much
He's like,
that
I'm gonna keep her.
he let her honestly, he kept her because he's like, "Oh, you know what? She aligns more with who I am. She'll let me do whatever." You
Whatever.
know what I'm saying? Like, the wife is just like, that was not her thing. She was probably at this point trying to save her marriage
Mhm.
by bringing her in. And I don't understand bringing in a younger version of yourself, a freakier version of yourself, because essentially
That's what she did.
Margot was like a younger version of her. How was that going to save your marriage?
I don't know, but again, like grasping at straws, trying to keep these men for what? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I ain't got the capacity for that kind of stress.
Either. I don't.
It just seems like a lot to manage. And I'm like, I don't want to manage all that.
Absolutely. And I say this as someone who is in a traditional marriage in the sense that it is a heterosexual marriage. You know what I mean? And I'm married to a man who's like 7 years older than me,
Hmm.
but still, we don't have that dynamic. We don't. Like, I'm very much my own person. I very much have like my own agency and my own power. I I could not live like that.
That's the thing. I'm like, I don't care about the money. There's nothing that there. I don't see the draw because it just seems, again, exhausting in a different way. Like, the way
What
I'm like, Jed stay hunching all day, ain't nobody got that kinda energy, I don't understand it. But it's the same thing, to me, Margot runs I just can't like, you run the whole outside world, and then you gotta come home and grovel to this man, I can't. I just ugh.
well, there's something that we've been saying for decades.
Mhm,
And we've been saying this. Women will go through a lot not to have to pay their own rent.
mhm, but
It's something we've been saying for decades and it holds true. She's actually
and
doing
that rent is
more
annoying.
work than if she would have gotten a
A
career
9 to 5.
and taken care of herself financially. But she likes the fact that she is being taken care of and she's willing to sacrifice her dignity.
Mhm,
Like at the bottom line, she's sacrificing her dignity, her agency,
mhm,
because she feels like she has power. She quickly learns that it's not real.
mm-mm, no. It went away so quickly.
Because Margot's not a spring chicken in this show.
No, she's
Like
not.
honestly, she's probably in her 40s, I would say. What do you
Mhm.
think?
Yeah,
And even though she is absolutely gorgeous in the
yeah,
show.
absolutely.
I mean, I hate her wig, but whatever. But she's absolutely gorgeous in the show. But I'm like, you know what? She's not 25.
Right.
And the way that he acts, honestly, 5 or 10 years, he was probably gonna replace her for someone younger anyway.
Girl.
That's what they do.
That's why
When
you
they
got
have
to
that
at least squirrel away, like, squirrel away some money. I
when
wish
they
she could trust her brother, but you can't. Because 'cause I'm like, if she could trust her brother, I'm like, "H I don't you know, you but there's just something you could do. You can't
listen,
you have to have gone through all of that and leave with nothing."
if we learned one thing in this show, we learned that her brother is a crackhead. They have called that man a crackhead 50 different
No,
ways.
I said I wish she could trust her brother, because that would be like, "Okay, Imma keep bringing you money because 'cause you're threatening me." You know what I mean? And then she run the scam with her brother. To some degree, I wish they could work a little but he would have to be more functional than he is, but honestly, she just need a secret bank account.
Something. But you never know, like, when you have, like, that level of money, people are following you, private investigate
She already had a private investigator following her by her, girlfriend, her disgruntled girlfriend.
Kelly was wild.
Callie was wow. That's the other thing that I did not see. I was like, I don't think that private investigator is Democrats' Oppo research. I'm like, whatever that I don't believe that story at all. But I did not think it was Callie. I thought it was Jeb keeping tabs on her.
Do you know what's funny? The difference between Margot and Jed is that Jed likes, you can tell he very much likes to have anonymous sex. And Margot, for whatever reason, wants the person that she is having sex with to have feelings for her, even when she does not have feelings for them.
Yeah,
She could be having anonymous sex out there with people, but she doesn't do that. Like, she wants that adoration and that love, and she wants them to, like, deeply desire her.
worship her. Yeah.
Right. And does that make her a bigger villain than Jed?
I don't think you can be.
Because he holds the power.
He holds the power. Like, because it's not centered on him, I was like somebody who's already like that, you got more skeletons and bones and, probably bodies, honestly, in your closet,
Right. That's true. Although, as far as we know, Jeb has not killed anybody.
as far as we know.
You know what's so funny? I call
I
him,
never considered that he has not killed somebody.
you started from the fact that I know he's
I
murdered
assume.
somebody.
I had like when you said, I was like, I've never considered the fact that he hasn't killed someone.
You know what's funny? I call him Jed or Jeb
Me too.
interchangeably.
And I've done so in the last 5 minutes. Yeah. I was like, yeah, you saying what you do to Grant and Graham, I'm like Jeb. He just
Jed.
looks more like a Jeb.
Graham, Grant, Jeb, Jeb. It's all the same.
It's all the same.
Do you have any other thoughts about the show? You
The
think we
show
covered
was
everything?
absolutely wild.
It
I do
was
think
wild.
we covered everything. It was absolutely wild. I do hope it gets picked up for a second season. I hope with all the edits that we suggested, because of course they listen to us. Like just cut down. We could leave the teens out the storyline completely. These grown folks are messy enough.
Absolutely.
And other than that, I do want to see a season 2 though.
I would. I would love to see what they do with a season 2 because season 1 honestly was shocking, it was surprising, and I don't often feel like I get surprised or shocked.
Yeah. Agreed.
And so I'm like, okay, I'm intrigued. I want to see. see what else you're going to do. So, guys, let us know in the comments. Are you watching Hunting Wives? Are you interested in the season 2? What storylines would you like to see them cut? What storylines would you like to see them flush out? If you have any hopes or wishes for season 2, let us know.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time, guys.
See
Bye.
you next episode.
I'm ready for the next episode. I can't wait to get home and turn my TV on. I'm ready for the next episode. Got my snap shoes off, my remote control. I'm ready for the next episode.